I discovered a journal hidden in a wall at an abandoned asylum. I grew up in a quiet suburb just outside the sprawling, decaying remains of the Willow Creek Psychiatric Center in northern New Jersey. As a kid, I was the rule follower, never sneaking out, never testing boundaries. The local legend of the Watcher kept me in line, too. They said he was a shadowy figure who roamed the woods around the old asylum, preying on anyone who got too close. I'd heard the tales whispered at sleepovers, a former patient, unhinged and vengeful, lurking in the ruins. But the truth, as I'd later learn, was far stranger and far worse than the myth. After college, I moved back home to Edison Township, jobless and restless, grappling with my own battles. I'd been wrestling with panic attacks and sleepless nights for years, managed now with a steady dose of meds. It hit me hard one day, staring out my window toward the distant silhouette of Willow Creek. Kids like me, with struggles no bigger than mine, had been locked away there decades ago. Overcrowded by hundreds, treated like less than human, all for things we'd call manageable today. If I'd been born a generation earlier, would I have ended up there too? That thought gnawed at me until I couldn't ignore it anymore. I had to see Willow Creek for myself, not just peek through the rusted gates like every other curious teen, but step inside. The place was fenced off, sure, but it wasn't Fort Knox. No guards, no cameras, just a no trespassing sign that half the town ignored. I'd always been too spooked by the Watcher to join my high school friends on their midnight dares. But now, at 23, with a need to face something bigger than my fears, I grabbed a flashlight, a backpack, and a pocket knife, just in case, and headed out one chilly evening around 8 p.m. The asylum loomed against the twilight sky, a jagged monolith of peeling paint and shattered windows. 15 stories of forgotten suffering. I found a gap in the fence near the east wing, slipped through, and climbed in through a ground floor window frame, its glass long gone. Looking back, going alone was reckless, but in the moment, it felt like a mission, a way to prove something to myself. Inside, the air was thick with dust and decay. Graffiti snaked across the walls, names, dates, cryptic symbols. Rusted bed frames lined the halls, some with straps still dangling, and I swear I saw scratch marks etched into a doorframe. The place buzzed with an eerie stillness, broken only by the crunch of debris under my sneakers. I wandered, letting instinct guide me, until something pulled me toward the fourth floor. I can't explain it. My legs just carried me up the crumbling stairs, past flickering shadows, to a hallway that felt different. It was nothing special at first glance, a stretch of exposed brick, a communal bathroom with cracked tiles, a few empty rooms. But as I scanned the wall with my flashlight, a patch of brick caught my eye, darker, slightly recessed. My pulse quickened. I chipped away at the loose plaster around it, and with a tug, a brick slid free. Tucked inside was a small, tattered bundle of papers, tied with frayed twine. No cover, just folded sheets, yellowed and fragile. A journal. I didn't dare open it there. The darkness pressed in, and every creak of the building sounded like a warning. I stuffed it into my backpack, took one last look around, and bolted home. After a scalding shower to wash off the asylum's grime, I sat at my desk, heart pounding, and untied the twine. The first page, written in a shaky, childish scrawl, stopped me cold. March 15th, 1920. My name is Clara Hensley, and I'm 9. Mama said to write every day so I don't lose myself here. Today's my first day at the hospital. Papa said I'm sick because I get scared of the dark and cry too much. He said the doctors will fix me so I can be a big girl and not embarrass him anymore. Mama hugged me tight when they left me at the gate, and her eyes were all red. I told her I'd be brave for her, and a lady in a white cap took me inside. Mama waved until I couldn't see her anymore. The lady said her name was Nurse Edith, but I can call her Edie. She's kind, not like the man in the coat who looked at me funny. Edie took me to a big room with cold tiles and told me to take off my clothes for a checkup. I was shy, but she helped me into a scratchy gown. Then she left, and the man came in. He had a big hose, like the one Papa uses to water the garden, and told me to stand still and shut my eyes. Before I could ask why, he turned it on. The water hit me so hard I fell, and it was freezing. I cried, but he didn't stop, just kept spraying until I was shaking and sobbing on the floor. He threw the gown at me and said to put it on. Edie came back and hugged me while I cried. She took me to a room with two other girls, both asleep on little beds. She gave me this paper and a pencil stub, whispering to hide it from the man. I fell asleep fast, but not for long. In the night, I woke up to one of the girls staring at me, her face so close I could feel her breath. Her eyes were huge, and she grinned like a jack-o'-lantern. "It's coming," she whispered, and then a scream ripped through the hall like someone was being hurt bad. Then another, and another, until the whole floor was howling. I hid under my blanket, praying it'd stop. I just want to get better and go home to Mama. I sat there, clutching the pages, a chill creeping up my spine. This was real, a kid's voice from over a century ago, trapped in Willow Creek. I had to know more. Who was Clara Hensley? I scoured the internet for patient records, but Willow Creek's archives were a mess. Scattered articles, no names. Clara Hensley turned up nothing useful. It was too common a name. The only way forward was through the journal itself. I was scared to keep reading, but I felt tied to Clara now, like I owed her something. March 22nd, 1920. I'm Clara Hensley, or they call me Patient 1089 now. Edie comes every morning with a cup of pills, 3 little ones and a big one that's hard to swallow. They make my head feel fuzzy, like when Papa's radio gets all scratchy and loud. I wish I could turn it off. After pills, Edie takes me and my roommate, 1072, the staring girl, to a big room for breakfast. It's awful. People in wheelchairs sit there, bald and blank, drooling like they don't know where they are. 1072 says they're gone inside, and I should never look too long. The other girl from my room got taken away the second day. 2 men in white coats dragged her out, even though she was screaming and kicking. At breakfast, I saw her in a wheelchair, a big purple mark on her cheek, staring at nothing. 1072 told me to act like I didn't know her. I don't understand why they'd hurt her like that. The screaming at night keeps going every night, loud and wild. I'm so tired, but I have to get better for Mama. April 1st, 1920. I'm patient 1089, Clara Hensley, and I'll be 10 in 2 months. Today was special, Edie said. A new doctor came to help us. I hope he helps me most. I miss Mama so much. Papa never writes, and I worry Mama's alone. She had marks on her arms before I left, said she tripped, but I don't know. 1072, and I went to the main hall. I was sleepy. The screaming went on forever last night, and the hose man blasted me again this morning. I'm used to it now, even the bruises. In the hall, a doctor stood on a little stage with a girl strapped to a chair. He said his name was Dr. Kessler, and he's still learning, but he's got a trick to fix us. He talked fancy, but I heard brain a lot. Then he took a metal spike, like an ice pick, and jammed it into her eye, twisting it around. She screamed, and I got sick all over the floor. Edie rushed me back to my room, but I heard clapping behind us. How does hurting her fix anything? Dr. Kessler wants to see me tomorrow. I'm scared. I stopped, my stomach churning. Lobotomies. I knew about them, but reading it from Clara's eyes was something else. This Dr. Kessler sounded like a monster, experimenting on kids with no oversight. A quick search confirmed lobotomies weren't standard until years later. This was pure guesswork, and they cheered for it. I needed to know if Clara survived. The internet failed me again, so I took the journal to a historian at the Edison Library, calling it a family find to dodge questions. She dug through old registries and found a faint lead. James and Lillian Hensley welcomed a daughter, name unlisted, in 1910 from a town called Rahway, 20 miles away. A draft card pinned James to the same area. It had to be them. I tracked their lineage on a genealogy site and messaged a distant relative, an older guy named Tom, fond of sharing grainy photos and random rants. To my shock, he replied. James and Lillian were his great-grandparents. Their daughter, Beatrice, born in 1921, was his grandma. She'd grown up thinking she was an only child until Lillian, dying in 1931, confessed there'd been another girl older, sent away for fits and night terrors. James, a volatile man after the war, couldn't handle her. Tom didn't know what became of her, but he wanted to. I promised to share the journal when I was done. April 2nd, 1920. Dr. Kessler saw me today. He kept tapping my cheeks, asking if I ever got mad or broke things. I said no. I'd never hurt Mama, but he scribbled like he didn't believe me. He asked about pets. My cat ran off last year. Fires. One burned a barn near home once. And my crying fits. I told him that's why I'm here, to stop being scared so Papa won't yell. He said I might turn bad. Like other kids he's fixed, and he can stop it. I don't feel bad, but he's a doctor. Maybe he's right. April 1920, maybe? I don't know the day. I'm still 9, I think. Edie's pills come every morning, but she's got marks on her hands now. She won't say why. The hose blasts happen more, and there's a new thing, a room with wires and a chair. They tie me down, put a band on my head with pads by my eyes, and turn it on. It hurts so bad I scream, but I try to be brave. Afterward, I'm too tired to walk. Edie wheels me back, and my head's all bruised. 1072's gone now. No one says where. May 1920. Edie says I'm 10 now, but I don't feel it. The headband thing happens all the time, and I sleep a lot. Edie sneaks in at night sometimes, lying beside me. Last night, she whispered a secret. Dr. Kessler's planning to use his spike on me soon. She says we have to run far away with new names. I can't think straight, but I picked Lillian because it feels nice. She says to rest up. We're leaving soon. May 10th, 1920. I'm Edie Monroe, nurse at Willow Creek. I'm finishing 1089 story. She's a sweet girl, not sick, just scared, like any kid. Her parents dumped her here, and Kessler's convinced she's dangerous. He's pushed the hose treatments and that awful electric chair thing. She's fading, but she's so strong. I've been here 5 years, and I've done things to spare these kids' worse fates. Every night, I check Kessler's list for his next procedure. I slip in, make it quick and quiet, accidents, they think. The kids call me the Shadow now. They scream when I pass. But with 1089, I can't. We're escaping instead. She'll be Lillian. I'll be someone new. We're vanishing. If you find this, know why I hid it. I handed the journal to Tom, reeling. Edie was ending lives to save them from Kessler's spike, and she couldn't do it to Clara, so she ran, taking her along. Did they make it? Did Clara, Lillian, get a real childhood? I'll never know, but I hope she found peace somewhere far from Willow Creek's walls.